Several school districts in Monroe County's yellow zone began testing students and staff for COVID-19 today. Under the regulations, they have to test 20% of people in each building. Kayla Green joining us now live from the Webster Schrader High School area. Kayla, how's it going so far? It's only been a day, but what have we seen?
Yeah, Adam, today was the first day, and Webster schools tested 603 students and staff members, all of which came back negative, according to the superintendent. Now, in order to test their 20% threshold, they'll have to test 1,500 by the end of this week, which the superintendent says they are on track to do. Carmen Gamina is the superintendent at Webster schools. He says around 80% of families have opted in to have their children tested. This means they have more than enough people to continue testing for weeks to come if needed. He says each principal is given a master list of students and staff who have opted in, and they have been randomly assigned to cohorts. Cohort 1, made up of the first 1,500 people, will be tested this week. Staff members are being trained to administer the tests, and there is another training tomorrow morning. Gamina says while he does think it's a good idea to get test data from different community groups, he's unsure about reliability of this method to bring the community rate down long term.
I do think it's important that we test every population. I think it's just important to get a community visual of different populations in our towns. Is that a true number, or is it an artificial deflation or decrease in that number? And we just have to be careful, because it sort of is, right? Because we're adding all of these asymptomatic negative results. Our number will go from 4.6 to something probably much smaller than 4.6, and we just have to be careful that we don't get into a very false sense of security.
He says a total of 4,200 families have opted in for the testing, and he expects this number to reach 4,500 by the end of the week as families continue to fill out the survey. Live in Webster, Kayla Green, News 8.
Thank you, Kayla. The test being used is a shallow nasal test, not the deep ones we've typically seen at testing centers up to this point.